It's Firecrackers, where we take time to reflect on issues of national interest. Tonight, we get some perspective from Abuja, the nation's capital, as we take a look at the vaccines rollout here in Nigeria and some of the major concerns of many Nigerians here. We also understand that a lot of countries across EU have had halted the use of the Astrazeneca vaccines, but some of them have now come out to begin to use the vaccines or roll out the vaccines again. But we'll get some perspective tonight as regards some of the possible side effects of the virus. As joining us live on the program tonight is the country representative here in Nigeria of the World Health Organization, WHO, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulombo. He joins us live from the nation's capital. Dr. Walter, I would like to thank you most kindly for agreeing to speak with Galaxy TV. Such a great honor to speak with you tonight. Let's even begin with the fact that the World Health Organization and other agencies have continued to downplay the ongoing safety concerns, insisting that there is no link between the shot and increased risk of developing blood clots. What's the very, very latest update with the WHO's investigation regarding this?
Thank you, Kelly, for the opportunity to comment on this issue of side effects of COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine. The latest is that WHO is aware of some claim from some countries on increased risk of clotting following administration of AstraZeneca vaccine. What we do know currently, when you look at the risk of developing clot among subjects that have received the AstraZeneca vaccine, when you compare that risk to the general population, there is not increased risk of blood clotting event. As a matter of fact, there's been over 17 million people who received the AstraZeneca vaccine. And among them, there were reports of about 40 events of blood clot. That's very, very negligible compared to the frequency of blood clot in the general population. So far, investigation are ongoing, and the event have not been linked to the administration of AstraZeneca vaccine as far as we know from ongoing investigation. But I want WHO continue to investigate in collaboration with those that have reported those events. So we encourage all the report all sides so that we will better analyze them and advise.
All right, Dr. Mulombo. Well, with the list of countries that had suspended the use of the vaccines developed by AstraZeneca and, of course, the University of Oxford over the blood clot concerns, has that added to the woes of the vaccination campaign, especially in Africa and across Europe?
We are aware that a number of countries the administration of AstraZeneca vaccine as a precaution while is going on. And as a matter of fact, you will have learned that the European Medicines Agency issued a statement suggesting that they don't believe that those events are linked to the vaccination. So, and in African continent, the African Union has also issued a statement asking countries to continue to administer COVID-19 vaccine, because for now, the risk of not having the vaccine, the benefit of having the vaccine outweigh the risk of not having them at all. So all countries are urged to continue to vaccinate, but to continue to monitor side effects so that appropriate measures will be taken in a timely fashion. As I said before, there is no evidence for now that administration of AstraZeneca vaccine has been linked to blood clot. Causal association is another layer which requires in-depth analysis. And as I said before, the incidence of those events compared to what's happening in the general population as far as blood clots are concerned is quite negligible.
Well, all right, Dr. Mulombo, let's see now if we can get to talk more specifically about Nigeria now. In terms of the administration and the rollout here in Nigeria, has the agency making plans to ensure the safety monitoring and response when these vaccines are used right here in Nigeria? There are also talks of possible vaccine adulteration. I mean, we know how unique we are right here.
Sorry, there are talk about what? Sorry? Would you repeat your question, please? I didn't get your question.
All right, I was asking, Dr. Walter, I was asking how your body, the World Health Organization, helps to ensure vaccine safety monitoring as well as response here in Nigeria in terms of when the vaccines are being used or administered. I mean, there are also talks about possible, there are talks about the possibility of probably having fake vaccines as well here. How is the agency going to ensure that we do not have such vaccines administered to innocent Nigerians?
Thank you. As you know, the WHO has worked with the NPA, and NAFDAC to ensure that the vaccine.
Yeah, we have no trusting. Anytime, this is our.
From right now, there's 1 million.
And I'm so I wish. I think if I really, they might do like that. After I pray with great man segment, or we will go on a break.
The vaccine will enter the country if it's not through the NAFDAC and duly approved. In addition, WHO worked with NPA and the national authority, the PTF, to develop a plan to deploy the vaccine. So in addition to what the government is doing, WHO has deployed more than 3,000 independent monitors to track the vaccine rollout. They are there working together with staff deployed by the Ministry of Health and the staff deployed by the state government to track all stages of implementation. WHO is involved in training, it's observing administration. WHO is also working with NAFDAC to track side effects. And you might know that the Ministry of Health has also put in place additional safeguard measures. For example, the measures to destroy the vials after there won't be any way to recycle them. So right now, all the vaccines that are coming in country are from a controlled source through certified manufacturers and through the COVAX facility. We know that Nigeria is also targeting African vaccine attribution vaccine through which the vaccine will be coming. But above all, there will only be one single source of vaccine into the country through NAFDAC and approval of importation. Mechanism or even separate both the fake vaccine and Nigeria.
Let's take a breath, and I will be back in just a moment and get to round off our conversation with you. I mean, there are other questions begging for answers regards the Astrazeneca vaccines, really. For example, people are actually even asking who exactly are those who probably should be exempted from taking the vaccines. We'll get to your response just after this time. I'll be back and get your reply, your response to this. You're watching Firecrackers. We'll be back in just a moment as we get the perspective again of the WHO representative here in Nigeria, Dr. Walter Kazadi. Mulombo. That's in a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back. welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Firecrackers. We are live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. Focus today. The first part of the program is the Astrazeneca vaccines, as well as the possible side effects. And of course, we are live in Abuja, where the WHO rep here in Nigeria, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulombo, is standing by to speak with us. Very quickly as well, we would get to round off our conversation and then focus on something outside the COVID-19 pandemic as we take a look at Nigeria's unemployment rate. Well, that's in a moment. But Dr. Walter, thank you so much, Dr. Walter, for staying with us, Dr. Walter Kazadi in Abuja. Well, just before the break, I was on the question of who exactly should be excluded from receiving the COVID-19 vaccines. All right. It does appear that we have lost connection with Dr. Walter Kazadi. We'll see how we can re-establish connection with him as we take a look at some of these questions that are indeed begging for answer. There are also those who have asked if the vaccines are also safe for even pregnant women or those who plan on becoming pregnant. And then, of course, the ages as well. People are also concerned about that. We'll see how we can reconnect with Dr. Walter. It does appear we have him back. Let's see, now we can go back live to Abuja, the nation's capital, where the country rep of the World Health Organization is standing by, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulombo. I just asked the question, Dr. Walter, just before the break. The question is, who should be excluded from receiving the COVID-19 vaccines?
The clinical trials targeted people from 18 years of age and above. So the vaccine is being administered from 18 years and to the elderly. So we do not have evidence for efficacy of the vaccine under that age. So that's the exclusion criteria. And also for pregnant mothers, it's not an absolute exclusion, but it's really up to the clinician to weigh the risk based compared to the benefit. Because among the frontline workers who are the target for this phase of the vaccination, there may also be pregnant mothers. Clinician should be able to weigh the risk versus the benefit. But the absolute exclusion criteria for now is the age. Over.
All right. Is it possible that someone vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus can also get infected again?
The vaccine right now has been assessed against the risk of developing the disease and the disease evolving into the severe form requiring hospitalization and even maybe death. So it's against those parameters. We do not have yet evidence regarding the protection against infection. So right now, the vaccine is there to protect against symptomatic disease, particularly severe form of the disease, which lead to death. You might be aware that until now, there hasn't been a count or proven account of death among those who received the vaccine. There were some who developed some mild symptom disease, but which didn't evolve into severe form. So it's very important to understand the parameter for effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccine as we speak. There are studies going on to see to what extent there is a protection against transmission to other people. But what is most important as a public health outcome is that vaccine, all of the vaccines that have been approved by WHO are effective in preventing the clinical disease and developing lead to that. So that's where we are. COVID-19 disease is still new. We are still learning. This vaccine has been approved under emergency use list. It means that all the countries, scientists, they continue to collect information on how they fare. So it's very important that as many people as possible get the vaccine so that it will deny this virus the opportunity to continue to spread and provoke major crisis. Over.
All right, Dr. Walter, just one final question before I let you go. Are there plans by the World Health Organization to introduce other vaccines as well? I know we've been very particular about the Astrazeneca vaccines, but then we also have the Johnson & Johnson. We do have the Moderna, the Pfizer jabs, and then of course we also understand that China and even Russia I think has the Sputnik V. So are there plans to also introduce other vaccines right here in Nigeria?
Yes, WHO is starting the dossier of several candidate vaccines and is approving them as the evidence is available. Beyond the approved Pfizer, Moderna, the two Astrazeneca, the one manufactured by Serum Institute for India and the one manufactured in Korea, and also most recently the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. There are others. Sputnik vaccine is one of them. The vaccine manufactured by China others. So that to study the data, and we'll be releasing a statement once the strategic advisory group of experts on vaccination will study the dossier and accept them. So we should anticipate more vaccines come onto the list after the site approve them through the WHO mechanism. So it's anticipated that the portfolio of COVID-19 vaccine will expand as more have become available. Over.
Well, I guess that's a good place to leave it. Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulombo, I'd like to thank you most kindly for speaking with Galaxy TV.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And so we'll be speaking with the country representative here in Nigeria of the World Health Organization, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulombo, on the safety and, of course, the possible effects of the Astrazeneca vaccines. Well, so much to talk about the vaccines. We do hope that things can actually get better, and of course Nigerians will definitely be more receptive to the vaccines. You're watching Firecrackers wherever you're watching from around the world. We're live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. And the part 2 of Firecrackers now, we will shift focus away from the